gotten out of the school, and obviously I've made some decisions that really, I don't know, like I did a lot of stupid stuff trying to impress probably the wrong people, and I want to be there to redirect people and be the guy to help if someone needs it. So that's kind of what this is about. I'm pretty much telling my story from about 5th grade on, and all the adversities that I faced and that I had to kind of tough out throughout school. And it starts off really in 5th grade. Like, there's a time where I wasn't allowed to see my parents. I was in foster care, and as a 5th grade student, like, what do you, like, I don't know, like, I couldn't put school first because I was worried about when the next time I would see my parents was. And that was really my main concern. Like, there's always been stuff, distractions that I've had outside of school that have played a factor into some of the decisions that I've made and that I've gotten in trouble for. But also, I don't know, there's just a lot that I've had to carry, and that's why I want to talk. And I know that there's probably a lot of people in this crowd that carry similar things, or they have their own personal struggle, and I just want to help. So, I mean, 5th grade, that was a raw time, and then 6th grade, I moved to Connecticut, and that was probably the roughest thing that I've had to go through, because here, I mean, all you guys know me, and I hope a lot of you guys like me, but I wasn't even a person there. Like, I was literally like an empty body. Nobody knew me. I was kind of the outcast, and that was the most negative experience I've had in all my years of schooling. And my mom ended up losing custody, and I wasn't allowed to live with her in Connecticut, and I came back here, and that was great because I've been here since, and I've lived here, and I've loved it here. These are the kids that I grew up with. You know, I know all you kids, and all you guys know me, and I enjoy being back. But on the other hand, like, as a 7th grader, my mom lost her license, so she's in Connecticut. I couldn't really see her because she couldn't get down to the boat, and I kind of had to grow up quick because my dad worked a lot, and my grandmother helped out as much as she could, but I had to go to school, and I took everything kind of upon myself to do it. And there's a lot that I had to carry, and I did a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't have done, and I saw a lot growing up that a lot of kids probably didn't see. And I think that, I mean, everyone has that stuff. I think all you guys battle with that stuff. Stuff goes on in your households that you don't come in and tell. And everyone has their own personal story. Everyone has that struggle. And just some of the stuff, like last year, it was just too much. I was overwhelmed, and I know all you guys know what happened last year to me, and I was excluded and all that, and I would do stupid stuff to like put a smile on people's face, and that was the biggest thing. Like, some of the people that I hung out with last year can't even step foot in this building anymore. Like, just why? Why let people influence your decisions as heavily as they did? I did a lot of stupid stuff last year. The Oreo, throwing an Oreo at a substitute teacher. Like, everyone, oh, that's hilarious. I was in ISS for 4 days. Then I said some stupid stuff in gym class. It got reported. And, like, a lot of people thought it was funny, I guess. Like, that's sick. But I had ISS coming back from April break. And then they suspended me, and that was really rough because I've been suspended my freshman year, and it's kind of a raw time. Like I've had some pretty lengthy suspensions that where I've just been out of school for a fair amount of time. So, like, I was suspended, and well, everyone, I just missed out on a lot. Everyone was finishing up their junior year. You guys went to prom. I missed going to prom with my grade. No one really reached out, and I was just by myself pretty much for that month, the month of May and into June. And I got my sexual harassment for saying some stupid stuff, and I got my second bullying. And I would wake up every day at 7 o'clock, take a bus to the YMCA where I'd do tutoring, and I'd do schoolwork for like 2 hours, 3 hours. None of it would really matter because I wasn't finishing those classes. Like the year was pretty much over. And then I'd finish up tutoring. I'd walk to Thimble Farm. I'd walk down the roundabout and down past Good Ales and down that road to Thimble Farm. Work there till 2 every day. And I just beat myself up. Like all you guys were doing your own things, and I was kind of just there, sitting in my room, like not knowing when I'm going to get placed, like, because I knew that I was going to go away for at least 45 days. I didn't know where I was going, didn't know what was going to happen, didn't know when it was going to happen. They said initially it was a 10-day suspension, so I served my 10 days, and I did the community service, did all that, and then they told me I had a reinstatement meeting, but I wasn't getting reinstated because I was getting excluded. So they were like, yo, just keep it up until your placement. I had no idea when my placement was going to be. So I would wake up every morning like, oh, this could be my last day going to Thimble. Go to bed at night like, oh, I could be leaving tomorrow, the next day, next week, I don't know. And as I was just sitting there waiting, I was getting deeper into my summer. So I was really kind of bugging out because I didn't know. There was just so much that could happen. Like, I was really like thinking like, should I just drop out? Like, what should I do? I'm going to go to this school, like, what if it's just awful and I just can't deal with it? And I have to go and they won't take me back at MVRHS, like, put my name on the list for the charter school, like, what am I going to do? I really was thinking, like, oh, like, I just ruined my life, because I called the kid the R word, and I made, like, some stupid, dirty joke in gym, and I got a sexual harassment. And, like, was it worth it? Like, that's sick. Like, I made a few kids laugh, but I wasn't thinking about whatever, like, someone took it a different way. Like, there's always, and that's what it is. Like, everyone has their own struggles. So you could say something, and that, oh, that's hilarious. Like, these 4 kids are laughing, but there's this kid over here that's like, wait, that, like, hold up. I don't really, like, why are you saying that? And that's like, I'm really good at saying really stupid stuff all the time. Like, I don't know what it is. And I put myself in some pretty stupid situations because of stupid stuff that I said. And that's really, like, and I really thought, like, I'm not going to be able to join my team and play football my senior year. And I really, like, I just thought, like, I ruined my life. And then I kind of stopped going to Thimble Farm, and then Miss Bennett redirected me. She came over one day and was like, you got to do this. Like, this is the stuff you got to do to be able to work back into our school and get back at MVRHS. So I started going back to Thimble. And then I got a call, or then one Saturday I visited a campus called Chamberlain International School in Middleborough, Mass, middle of nowhere. And it's like a therapeutic boarding school, I guess. So there's a wide variety of kids there. There's some kids from New York, there's kids from China, there's kids from many places, a lot of different kids. And they put me there, I think, the following week. So I had a place to go, and it was a 60-day program, so I was kind of scared. It was a little 15 days longer than I needed to, so I don't know, I was just really like kind of mad that I was just missing my whole summer and all my friends are doing whatever you do during the summer, and I'm sitting here in this program school like doing work, and the work wasn't really like up to grade level. Some of the kids weren't up to grade level, so like I think I did pretty well in the work, and other kids were struggling, and so like this I guess you could say I went to school. I didn't really go to school, but like it wasn't, I don't really consider it school. It was pretty easy stuff. So, but you know, I got a lot of help, and that's really the changing point. I think like being able to go there. Last year there was just such a negative mindset that I kind of had. I'd come to school every day like, oh, what am I going to get blamed for today? How am I going to get in trouble today? And it was really like, I would just think that way. Like, but usually when there was a problem, the reality was, I wasn't so far from it. Like, I usually was the cause of a lot of the stuff that happened. And I had no one to blame but myself, but I'd point my finger at everyone else. And there came a time where I had to kind of just start taking responsibility. And that month, last May was probably the toughest time I've had ever in my life. And I've been through a fair amount, but sitting there every night by myself, like really thinking like, did I just ruin my life? Because two things that I said, like, am I gonna finish high school? Like that was really rough. And then going to Chamberlain, you know, I was really scared. Because I don't know, there's a lot of different people at Chamberlain, and initially I was, my first day I was really scared. Like I had a roommate, and everyone has their own story at Chamberlain. There's kids that come from, I know one kid who was born in a country, I think he was born in Europe, and he was like homeless. No, it was not Europe. But he lived in Lithuania. That's what it was. And he was homeless at age 6, like walking around in the street, no shoes, nothing. And he got adopted by a family in New York, and he got in trouble and got placed in Chamberlain. Chamberlain just sucks money out of his district, and he just lives there. Hasn't been home in 4 years. And like there's wild stories like that. Like my roommate was in rehab, and his rehab shut down overnight, so they shipped him to Chamberlain at like 4 in the morning. And there's kids that are there for stupid stuff, and there's kids that were there for stuff that was pretty significant. And it was just a wide variety of people, but they all just kind of welcomed me with open arms, and like just made it really easy being there. And that was really where my mindset all changed. Like I would wake up every day and I was just a lot happier than I was here. And I really learned a lot about myself, and I got the help that I needed. Like there was just too much going on here, and I couldn't really balance it all out. And that was really playing into like the stupid stuff that I do. And I was able to get better, and I really owe it to a lot of the people there. Like I just met some amazing people, and it was completely not at all what I thought it would be. I thought I'd just do whatever I was told for 60 days and get out of here and come back and join all of you. But it was a lot more than that. Like and I think that's really it. Like it's all like a mindset and how you approach every day. And I just approach every day a lot better now. Like, you know, I can't wait to wake up and go to school, and I'm just so thankful to be with, you know, like the kids in this front row, like Jacob, Greg, Austin. Like I've been with those kids since kindergarten. Like those are the kids I grew up with, and to be back here, it means the world to me. And I couldn't have done it without Chamberlain. And the kids there made a big difference in my life. I was there for 64 days, and I built relationships and bonds. Like, I feel like I've known those kids my whole life, like they were Greg and Jacob in Austin. but nah, and I mean that that I can't say enough about that place. I mean, I think, and that's, like I said, that's where I changed my mindset, and it's become a lot more positive. I wake up every day, and I just want to help people. And I just don't want to be the kid that I was last year. That's the one thing that I really dread. I feel like I was just such a negative person to have in this school last year, and this year I feel like I'm a leader in the school, and I have a voice that can be heard, so why not use it in a positive way, like having these talks where I can kind of share my story and, you know, lend a helping hand. Like, if anyone ever needs anything, like, you got Amy, you got all these kids in peer outreach, and, like, peer outreach is, like, maybe some kids don't really care about it, that they're in it, but, like, I'm one of those kids, like, if you really need help, like, I've dealt with enough in my life already that I feel like I can give fairly good advice and lend a helping hand and redirect pretty well, because a lot of the stuff I just wish like someone did it for me. And if I can make that difference for someone, then all this is worth it. Everything I've done is worth it. Because I've learned a lot, and I don't want to just kind of keep it to myself. I want to spread my knowledge and make that difference. Because last year, my voice, the way I made my voice heard was running around school, not going to class, and yelling in the halls, and all you guys were looking at like, oh, there's Crockett. So, and that's really like, and that's where it's different this year. I wake up every day and I'm happy, and it did really all start with Chamberlain. It was a scary experience, but it was one that needed to happen in order for me to be here today, and that's, I think, the one time where I probably noticed the change the most in myself was recently. I got a FaceTime. It was a Sunday night. I just came from dinner at a friend's house, and I feel like a few weeks ago, like, I don't know, I was kind of falling back into, like, a similar pattern. Like, I don't know, like, I was just, like, kind of starting not to believe, like, what I'm preaching now, and I don't know, just things were kind of going a different way again, and it was that adversity and how you come back and face it and respond to it. And I got a FaceTime from the kids at Chamberlain. I was talking to them. There's several different houses on the campus, and then there's one off the campus called on Prospect Street, and that was the house that a few of my friends lived in. So I got a FaceTime from them, and I was talking to them, and there's this kid Reed, and Reed, his parents are pretty wealthy. Like, he's pretty well off, and his parents pretty much just dump him at Chamberlain because they can pick up the tab. And he's been there for a few years. He goes home fairly regularly, but, like, his parents don't really deal with him. Like, he lives at Chamberlain. And he has Asperger's, and he's really just the sweetest kid. Like, everything about him, like, he's just the nicest kid you'll ever meet. Like, he's so funny, and his voice is so gentle, and, like, hearing him on the FaceTime, like, almost brought a tear to my eye. Because, like, he's just the sweetest person. Like, words can't even do it justice. Like, he's just so nice, and he's like, he starts talking to me, and I was in his class, and he's like, oh, Crockett, like, everyone misses you, like, we all love you, like, I love you. And I was like, I don't know, I almost, like, broke down, because I felt like everything that I've done to this point, like, that just made it worth it. Like, I just felt like, for once, like, I'm not a bad person. Like, I don't know, like, I can help. I can be that positive person. Like, I can be that peer outreach leader. I can be, like, I'm leading the race culture retreat. Like, I just feel like I've come a long way, and looking at my record probably in the school, you'd think, this kid's a punk. But, I just don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I've changed it. I hope the perception of me has changed, because I'm just here to help in whatever way I can. And every step that I've taken to this point's been necessary, and that was kind of my personal struggle. I mean, a little bit of it. And like I said, I know all you guys deal with that too, and if you guys ever need anything, there's people in guidance, and I'll walk with you in the halls, I'll talk it out with you. Like, I can be that person that can help you guys out. And as a member of peer outreach, that's why I kind of wanted to do this, because I just feel like I can make a difference, so why not? Any questions? I mean, I don't really have much over but it's my little sheet, little planner. I didn't really go off it. I pretty much just freestyled all that.
Crockett. Sorry. So we were talking earlier, and I was saying you have to give yourself a little bit of credit for all the work that you did before you went to Chamberlain. So can you talk a little bit about that? Like what you tried to do to help yourself?
I mean, yeah, I think before everything happened, I got in trouble. Like, I was in Amy's office regularly. I met with my counselor, David Arujo, and I really was trying to just get it all out, and I was trying to be the person that I kind of am now, but I just don't think I could do it with all that was on my plate. And that's another reason why I think Chamberlain helped, was like kind of getting away from everything for a bit. It was pretty solid. But I don't know, like, I just couldn't do it then, and that was what I needed to do. Yeah.
What's the hard part of coming back and putting yourself in this position now?
I think that, I don't know, because some people, because of some of the stuff that I've done, some people may not, like, listen. They'd be like, oh, this kid's just doing this or whatever, like, but, I don't know, I just really want to prove that I was never, like, a bad person. I think I let the wrong people have influences on my decisions, and I made a lot of the wrong choices throughout high school, and I just want to prove that you can change. Like, I think I've come a fairly long way from when I started my freshman year, so that was really, I just wanted to prove that you can.
So a couple of questions. One, you've sort of spoken to this, what you learned, but is there a single thing that you really stands out as the most important lesson? And my second question is, if you were to talk to a freshman coming in, what would be your biggest piece of advice to that person?
If I was to talk to a freshman, or like one of next year's freshmen, I'd probably just say, make this 4 years about you. Do what's best for you. and not, you know, not sacrifice so much for other people that aren't gonna give it back. And I think, you know, I hung out and I tried to help out someone last year that was just pretty far gone, and I kind of let a lot drag me down too, and I let a lot of people influence my decisions, and I was always kind of trying to be a person that I wasn't. I don't think I was very confident in the person that I was, and I don't think I was very, like, authentic. Like, it just wasn't me, and I was trying to put a smile on the wrong people's face, and I do a lot of stupid stuff just to make people laugh, but, like, none of it was really worth it. I think this 4 years is about trying to better yourself and set yourself up so you can be successful with whatever you want to do the rest of your life. And I was more focused on making people laugh and acting like an idiot and being like that class clown kid instead of trying to do what's best for myself. And now that it really hasn't gotten me anywhere except for staying at some school for 64 days, and now I have a really long record. And what was your first question?
You've spoken to it, but it was like what the biggest lesson you've learned, like the
If you had to sum
one
it up.
thing that you said a lot already, but
Yeah, the biggest lesson I think I learned was my mindset and how I approach every day. I think also I surround myself with the right people now. There was a time where I kind of faded from the kids that I grew up with, and you know, now I'm back with the kids that I grew up with, and that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to come back here when I lived in Connecticut. And it was weird because then I got to high school and I kind of went away from that, and that was really just the wrong move. So that was one of the lessons that I learned. You know, make sure you know who your friends are and know who's really going to have your back. And also the mindset that I go into school with, I try to never get too high or too low. Never get too overwhelmed by what goes on. You know, if your name's involved in rumors, I mean, people talk. I don't really feed into it because it doesn't mean anything. If I have a test next period, I'm not going to stress over what's her name talking about me. I gotta take my test. Mr. Bay.
What do you have in mind after high school?
I mean, I'd love to go to college, and I hope that's something that I can do. Obviously, there's a little thing when you, trying to get into colleges, you have to fill out, hey, have you been suspended? And I can answer yes. But yeah, hopefully, definitely I'm trying to go to college. AK.
So, like, obviously you've changed a lot since you've been back from Chamberlain. Do you ever, like, come across people who don't see that change and who, like, act negatively towards you?
I don't know, not really. I think it's just because I've just been pretty nice to people since I've come back. I mean, I really, like, I wake up every day and I'm like, how can I help? Like, what can I do? Like, I'm not, like, I think there's times last year where I was, like, just pissed off about something that could have happened, and I would take it out on people, and that also probably led to me getting in trouble a lot. But now I don't really have that much anger, so, like, I just feel like I'm nicer throughout the day. And I'm sure there is people that are still like, oh, he's Crockett, like, that kid's a jerk. That is what it is. Like, not everyone will like you. So. Definitely.
Well, not really a question, but I think what you're doing right now is really brave. I mean, there's no way I could sit up there and talk about like my life and stuff, and I think you should be proud of yourself for doing that.
You want to take one more question or two?
Yeah, I'll take a few more questions.
Last chance.
Tom,
If I don't get a date to prom, do you go with me?
I will go to prom. Yeah.
Hey, I went with Peter.
Thank you.
Hey, you got in.
What would be your
You got in.
biggest, one of your advices to any one of these students or who would be going through the same similar things that you're going through? What would you advise them to do?
I'd say don't eat it up, don't sit on it. If you really need to talk, like, get a person you trust, or go to a peer outreach person, or go to Amy, or whoever your guidance counselor is, and talk about it, because I definitely sat on a lot last year, and when a little thing would go wrong, all of it would kind of just pop off, and I think probably talking it out is the best way to go.
The experience you've gone through, do you think it's influenced at all what you may want to do with your life, future choice of profession?
Because I know a lot of people that go through injuries and rehab, that sort of stuff, they all of a sudden want to go into the medical field a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be like, I feel like maybe being a counselor down the road could be a thing, because like I love helping people, and that's like putting a smile on a person's face is like the ultimate like accomplishment for me. So, and that's one of the reasons why I would get in trouble too, is like I'd do stupid stuff to put a smile on this person's face, and then this person would report me because they didn't think it.
I personally think you're pretty funny. And I thought you would make a great comedian, so I don't think you ought to give up the class clown, but just be more appropriate.
Yeah, I'll be the appropriate class clown. I'll be the inappropriate class clown in like a comedy stage. I can do it.
It's a good thing, not a bad thing.
All right, so the bell's about to ring for lunch, and I'm gonna, we gotta stop right now, but if you guys have not gone to lunch yet, this is your lunch. Unless you have 4th or 5th lunch, then go back to class, okay? So we can't send everyone to lunch or we'll get in big trouble, so.